I'm Marianne Williamson, and I'm the author of a book called The Age of Miracles. With this book, I wanted to talk about the subject of age in a spiritual context. I was very intrigued by something that the author Lydia Bronte wrote. She wrote in her book, The Longevity Factor, that our generation has put 15 years onto our lifespan, but not at the end, she said, in the middle. And that felt true to me, that there is some period of time that, of course, biologically is not different than former generations, but which we are inhabiting differently. We are dwelling within the experience of midlife in a different way. This period of time when we are definitely no longer young, but we're clearly not old yet either. And it feels to me like this is a kind of second puberty. You know, in the first puberty, you go from being a child and into your teenage years. And then this midlife, menopausal era is much like that, in the sense that we stop being who we were and we have the opportunity to be someone new. If we don't make the changes that we are challenged to make and that we are capable of making at this time, then first of all, we can start manifesting disease. We could even manifest an early death. But at least as significant, if we don't make certain changes, we might still hang around the planet for another 20, 30, 40 more years, but in a kind of pathetic way. So what is this new period of time? How can we take this psychologically new period and see it in a different way? Because in any experience in our lives, how you think of it determines how you will experience it. And you can experience anything in life in a way that puts you at the effect of a circumstance, or you can experience the circumstance itself in a way in which you're sort of on top of the material, which you're at cause rather than effect in your own life. And that's what we want to do with midlife. How can I be at cause here? Well, one of the ways that we do this is by letting go some baggage, letting go some weight that we've accumulated. And one of the ways that we've accumulated weight is because by the time you're in your 40s or something like that, all of us have experienced some level of profound disappointment. I don't know if anybody gets to escape that. It could have been bankruptcy, it could have been a divorce, addiction, illness in you or someone in your family. Everybody falls down at some point because it's a fallen world. But the real issue in life is how you get back up. So you begin to feel prepared for this inauguration of a new period in your life and stepping into this challenge and opportunity to finally at last become your full potential. Not because you always succeeded, not because everything in your past represents an era in which you got it right, but just as much because you've learned from your failures as well as your successes. And that's what makes these years very rich, that everything we've been through can be grist for the mill. The things that we got wrong, we can atone for and know that we're ready now to do it right. And the script will come back around again because that's how life is. Any lesson we didn't learn before will come back around again. And when you create this kind of context for yourself, that it's really about forgiving what happened in the past so that it doesn't become dead weight. You know, sometimes people are like, well, I can't go forward in my life now because somebody hurt me so bad 20 years ago. And you start to realize, well, who's the real culprit here? The person who hurt you 20 years ago, or the person who's taken 20 years and still hasn't gotten over it? So it's a personal excavation, a period of time when we have great opportunity to look at everything that's happened in the past, the good and the bad. My father used to say, you have to take the good and with the bad. You take the good with the bad and you realize that all of it, even the bad, can turn into good through the grace of God. That's what I see around me. That's what I experience in my life and in the lives of so many people I know and have seen on my path. I think it's a kind of generational impulse to move into this period of midlife. So if that is something that feels true to you at all, I hope you'll pick up my book, The Age of Miracles. And I hope that for you as well as for me, this is an age of the miraculous and the good.